They stress very much on the fact to build up a proper legal framework, especially in the field of environmental impact. That means before you build up any kind of project, before you have any kind of construction under work, you should integrate into your planning, into all the preconditions that have to be considered, this kind of environmental impact report. And if this is integrated into your legal framework, then you are on the safe side. Within the legislation, I would stress very much on the legal framework that gives security to any kind of investors. Because in the future we will see that the state will cooperate more and more with the private sector, with the economy. So any kind of public-private partnership, of private investment, needs a proper legal framework to have a secure investment. And this is exactly the problems that, for example, Africa faces right now, that they don't get much of the UN money, all this money that lies within the emission funds. And most of the money goes to Asian countries, because investors say there we find more or less already now this proper legal framework to have a secure investment, whereas in Africa we don't see the security for our investment. So as a first step to make it attractive for investors to put their money into renewable energies, for example, to any kind of sustainable development, it's very important to have this legal framework that gives the security for, let's say, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that you get your money back, that you have a return of investment that makes this very attractive, very cost efficient for the investor to enter your market. Because the state alone won't do it in the future. Even now, many states fail to build up this kind of sustainable development. So you need the public-private partnerships, and you need the economy. We have to keep in mind that we have different tracks now around the world and different speeds of development. Of course, there are in many cases in developing countries, in emerging countries, there has to be a certain kind of development just to catch up with the developed world. But of course, if we can do this development by avoiding the mistakes of the developed world, that would be great. For example, in the energy sector, it would be great if we could skip all the fossil fuels that had been wasted in the developed countries. If we can skip natural gas, crude oil, coal, and go directly the path of development with renewable energy, with solar, with wind, with hydro, with biomass, so that we have at the very beginning a sustainable path of energy supply. If we would build up this kind of development with the fossil fuels again, then in 20, 30, 40 years you would be in the same trap as we are now in many Western countries. We want to switch now. Germany has a target to have 100% renewables by 2050. And it would be great if we could encourage with this path also many developing countries and emerging countries. If they see it works, we can adopt this model and also integrate as much renewable as possible. Many points that we have to keep in mind when we look at how to encourage countries to invest, for example, into renewable energies. One could be technology transfer. On the UN side, this has been one of the major efforts to attract the developed world to enter this technology transfer market. There had been some small successes in this field, but this could be much bigger in the future.